On today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to clean a canister. It's time for me to clean my tank, and I figured it'd be a great time to show you exactly how to clean your canisters. It's pretty universal. You just need some common knowledge of how to do your canisters, and you know, it'll work. So let's just jump into it. Down here is where I keep my canister, and probably you too. Some people keep them on the side, and you can see my canister is this style. Most people use the FX or the other ones, but this arrow code here is for the UV light. That's nothing to worry about. So the first thing you want to do is unplug your canister from the power outlet, because most likely you will need to unplug it for a couple reasons. Number one, you want to be able to scoot it out, and you don't want no water around the plugins and stuff. So the next thing you want to do is, once you get it unplugged, you can tell the power is off. Now we are going to twist these, and what twisting these does is pretty well keeps the water from running back into the filter. It's kind of a shutoff valve, and each one of these on your canister should have a shutoff valve. If it's a good canister, good quality canister, it should have a shutoff valve. This one does. It works pretty good. You can see we got a little sand build up on it. That's common. Once you get that, these pop off. But before you pop them off, you want to drain this. You can wait and drain it after you pop them off and move the whole canister out. If it don't, you have to pour it out and catch your canister's water. Now, the reason you want to catch this water is you're going to be washing out your media in this, and this water is either treated with chlorine treatment to make sure the chlorine is deactivated and don't harm your fish and bacteria, because you don't want to be washing your media out in the zinc with chlorine, because it can kill your cycle, and the canister holds a lot of your beneficial bacteria. You don't want to damage any of that bacteria, so save your water. Clean your media in it. So I'm going to disconnect these, and mine just pulls straight up. A little bit of water will run out of these. That's quite common. And notice the way your hoses do go on. So you don't want to get the hoses mixed up, because that can reverse the flow on your canister, and you'll be sucking out one end and blowing out the other one, opposite of what you had before. So we got this. Let's go ahead and just pull this out. It's going to be kind of heavy because I haven't drained it yet, even though I should. Just got this little valve here. Okay, I'm going to drain it. Now I'm going to go ahead and shut that off, pull this out, and notice I had a rag here to catch my water, because this is kind of messy, or a towel, whatever you call them where you at. So now that I got this drained, I am scooting this out. Okay. And then we're going to undo the band. The band is around the top of your canister. You know, different canisters got different ways of opening them, but you need to get the top off. So, ours just on snaps, yours may be different, but it's pretty universal. Once you get that, this should pop right up. It's got an O-ring on it, so be careful not to tear your O-ring. There you go. And you can see this filter was in need of a cleaning. It's been about 5 months since I cleaned this. So I'm going to take the O-ring out. We're going to wipe it off with a rag. I'm going to set it down to the side for now, so it don't get damaged. And we're going to wash this off. You can wash this off in the bathtub or zinc, either one. Or outside, you know. Inside the canister, you got trays. Every canister I've seen is like this, be it a FX or this one or the cheaper ones. So let's go ahead and remove your trays. And usually in each tray you got different media. I use these bio balls a lot right here, and I also use ceramic media. Very good for canisters. Highly recommend them. Another thing that I use is lava rock. It's very good too for media. That's got a lot of your bacteria, but sponge also catches a lot of food material and stuff like that, especially if you ain't using a lot of polyfill. So that needs definitely cleaned. Here's some more sponge. More sponge. And then we got the last and final tray, which we can pick up and pull out. Same way as the other ones. Just like so. And what we're left with is a canister full of old crappy water. Now you can take and wash your canister out. That's what I recommend doing. It's the easiest way. Wash it out good. Make sure you don't use chlorine water. Just make sure it's clean. And once it's all clean, it should look just like it's right here. So what I got here is the O-ring. That goes around the lid. We're just going to take a paper rag or a washcloth, whichever you got in hand, and clean it. You don't want no sand or anything on this that can damage this seal. You can get replacement O-rings, but sometimes you have to buy universal ones, and it's hard to find one that'll work right with your canister. So yeah, hold on to that. Now you can see the lid looks extremely good. We got it cleaned off now. Time to clean the media. So what I got here is some old media, and my little puppy is wanting a bath. He hears the water going when we're washing the canister. You can get a bath once we get done. Take your sponge filters and you want to put it in the old canister water and just pretty much squeeze them out. And that gets rid of everything that's bad, you know, that's stuck in the filtration of your sponges, the pores of your sponge. That cleans all that out, just like so. And you want to do that for all the sponge material. You can tell what come off of us. It's very messy. Now, this ceramic in your bowl balls, if you're using this, just pour some of the old water over top of these. You really don't want to go washing these, you know, extremely good, and you don't want to damage your bacteria. So the canister looking pretty clean, guys. We're just gonna go quickly around it with a washcloth, and you could get it cleaner, but a lot of your bacteria is on the surface of the canister too. So long as it's semi-clean, you're good enough. I mean, you don't want to kill your cycle out. So let's go ahead and put the bottom tray in. Goes in the same way you removed it, depending on your canister. That one goes just like so. That is the big sponge and stuff, media. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and put a sponge back in here, and I'm actually going to add some more sponge. And this is a good place where you can play around with your media, however you want to do it. It just helps catch a lot of stuff. Let me go ahead and take the top part here. Here's some more filtration and a sponge for basically more bacteria. So the more sponge you got, the better, because you have more surface area for bacteria. And the more surface area you got, the more healthy your tank is, and your fish too. You can handle a bigger bowl load. That's a lot of sponge. I could actually cram a couple more pieces in there. Here's just another piece of sponge. We're just gonna cram it down in there, and then we're gonna set our other tray on top here, just like so. So the top part goes in the same way it came out, just like so. Then you can go ahead and put your polyfill, whatever you got here, This is some charcoal bags and just some old polish fill is what I'm using. I might actually throw some little bit more media in there. So we got an O-wing placed on here now. Let's go ahead and put a lid on. Goes on the same way it came off, depending on your canister. It'll depend on how it comes on and off. It should go back on the same way it came off. And you don't want to cut your seal, so don't force it if it don't go on. So now it's time for the clamp, and it goes back on the same way. And matches. And it's that simple to put your canister back together after you cleaned it. So let's go ahead and clean these O-wings too. Wipe them off, make sure there ain't no sand or anything. Sometimes you do have to pre-fill your canister to get it to actually work, but I have found out that if your canister's been set up, it's set up pretty good, you can just do it this way, and the gravity will pretty well refill everything back up. Now, when you're doing this too, you want to check for leaks. Now, once it gets filled up the way up, you know, pretty well from the suction, or if you pre-filled it, you need to start your pump. It will probably be noisy till it gets the air out. But you can work your valves on and off for a split second to prime to push the air bubbles through. But you do not want to leave your valves closed long because it can damage your canister. But that does help blow out a lot of the stuff out of the lines, like you see in here. Kind of back pressure is the system. So now you want to make sure it's not leaking anywhere. What I like to do is run my filter on high for a couple minutes just to flush out all the debris and stuff that may be into the system. Your filters may be different. So I ended up having a valve issue with this Sun. I'm going to have to try to find a replacement or a rebuild kit or something. But for now, that works out. It was leaking a little. And you run into issues like this, but most of the time you can go to Lowe's or anywhere, find some silicone holes, and you know it works the same. Just stick it on with a clamp. You don't have to worry if your valves go bad. It just makes it a little bit more of a headache to clean your filter because you ain't got these shut-off valves. You can put inline ones you can buy and put between the silicone hoses and then clamp them. It works out just as good. Maybe in the update video we might switch this fully over to that type of hoses with shut-off valves. Let me know in the comment section if you'd be interested in that. But yeah, I did get a little water here from that leaky valve, but it works out. Over time, sand and grit gets in here, and when you twist them on and off, it can just damage them. That one, it was just its time to go. It's been a great filter. Only thing I wish they did different was the shut-off valves, but all in all, I can't complain. So if you found this video helpful, let me know in the comment section. Drop a like. If you're new, get subscribed. Thank you for watching.